I'm here with Kenny Ejim, who's a forward for the Humber Hawks basketball team. He's sitting with me today. I'm going to answer a few questions and talk about your career. So first of all, just tell us your story. Where did your passion for basketball all begin?
Well, my passion for basketball began at a young age. When I lived here in Rexdale, I went to St. Andrews Elementary School, and I just started playing at recess. I never played for any club teams, no AAU basketball or OBA basketball. I kind of just played at recess, fell in love with it, and any time that I had, I just spent it playing basketball. So that's where the love grew at a young age.
At a young age?
Yeah.
And what age did you start playing more professionally and getting into this more?
Well, my first year of basketball representing a club team, something outside of school, was in the 9th grade. I played for Brampton Warriors, and I haven't played rep or OBA basketball, like club basketball, ever since. I've only played that year. I've always really just played for school, played school basketball, and just played on my own, tried to develop on my own.
At what point did you want to continue when you went to college? Where did that really hit home?
I think it was high school. As soon as, in the 9th grade, I wasn't the most talented player, most definitely. I wasn't the fastest, strongest. I really didn't have an identity, but I still was passionate about it. So I wanted to try and figure out who I am as a basketball player, who I am as an individual, and this search of trying to find out who I am is what continued to allow me to keep playing. And for as long as I can remember, I've always wanted to play for as long as I could.
Right. And so you developed as a young player. So now that you're number 5th for points per game and averaging 22 points per game, does that have any expectations with that, or is it nerve-wracking, like you always have to do well now?
Well, sometimes your mind wanders, right? Sometimes you look at these things and it has some type of validation. Sometimes, it gets to you, but on the broader scale of things, if you're a true competitor, those things really don't get to you. You just try and keep a consistent level of play. Don't let the numbers get to you, and it's good to look at and say, I was able to accomplish this. But winning is the #1 priority. So as long as you win, that's your only real sense of validation.
Do you ever get nerves before a game, going into a game?
I always get nervous before a game. I really feel like if I'm not nervous before a game, then the game doesn't mean much to me anymore. So that's my sense of validation in terms of the game still means something to me. Every game still matters to me because I'm still nervous. I still have these slight expectations for myself, so.
And how do you handle those nerves going into a game?
Well, it's preparation. What you do leading up to that game, the amount of effort and time you put in practice, the things you've done leading up to that game to prepare yourself is really how well you'll do in that game. It's nothing you can do the day of or during the game. You can always make adjustments, yes, but it's more so about what you do leading up to that and how well you prepare yourself.
Right. Do you have any rituals you do at all before a game that help ease yourself?
Yeah, I listen to pretty much the same playlist. I try to keep my warm-up the same, my warm-up routine, a couple jump shots, layup, a dunk, and then, the same pattern over. I try not to switch it up. But, yeah, besides that, nothing really. Try to talk to my teammates, try and have fun and just take a little bit of pressure off of what's going on so that when the game comes, everything's just natural and instinctual, so.
Would you have any advice for a young, upcoming basketball player that, wants to compete competitively?
Yeah, I guess the only advice I would say is #1, school's first. Without school and grades, it's going to be hard to get where you want to go.
Right.
In today's day. So that's #1, and then #2 is just don't allow anybody to distract you. Don't allow anybody to tell you that your path won't be a path that leads to success. So just you want to continuously just improve every year and play. If you love the game, just keep doing it.
And with that, do you have anyone in your life that's influenced you to, become the athlete you are today?
I have there's a lot of people in my life that influence me. For starters, my mom, she's my rock. She's somebody who never played sports ever, but
Right.
still somehow is able to relate to just in certain things in life, you know, tie it back to the game of basketball, tie it back to life skills, and she's always been in my corner. Another person would be my older brother. Both of my older brothers, Melvin and Ryan, they both play basketball professionally overseas in Europe. And my younger brother is a great role model. You know, as little does he know, I look up to him in ways too. And my uncle David, he's the one who introduced me into the game. He's the one who really he's the only one who's ever really trained me one-on-one. He's the one who kind of sparked that flame for me that allowed me to, you know, start really getting into the game of basketball.
Did he ever have any like really hard-hitting advice for you that stuck with you throughout? Like any words that you always look back and say, wow?
Well, Floyd has influential phrases. You know, he'd always tell me things he'd never bring me down. You know, he'd never tell me I wasn't good enough. He'd always tell me, like, you don't see it yet because you're young, but this is where you'll end up. So don't allow anything to stop you from getting there.
Right.
Like, it's just because you don't see it right now doesn't mean it's not there and it's not coming. So just see it through and be patient and work hard.
And overall, do you have any coaches that, you know, that have given you such powerful influence in going into your games?
Yeah, I've had a lot of coaches. Coach Almer, well, you know, when I was younger, in the 9th grade, he died of cancer. And I think it was one of the very first leagues I started playing in is a Filipino league, and his son played on my team as well, Kyle Sunga, and he was the one coach who started really giving me confidence.
Right.
Like he'd always tell me, like, yo, you could play, and I've never had that when I was younger. You know, it was only just me, my uncle, and my family who would tell me. So he was really the first coach who believed in me. And, you know, he's probably that really influential coach. Every time before a game I do the sign of the cross and I point into the air, it's because of him, you know, because he's an amazing coach, an amazing person. So,
if you had anything you would love to say to him now, what would you say?
Just thank you, just give him you know, appreciation and thank you, because, you know, I don't know if I would be here and be as confident and be the individual I am today if it wasn't for, you know, his push when I was younger. So, yeah.
And do you have any like most memorable moments with playing with Humber?
Playing with Humber, yeah, I mean, winning a national championship with my team in my rookie season probably was most memorable. We're the only team in nationals without a All-Canadian or a first-team All-Star. So, you know, sitting at that banquet, seeing everybody else get awards, and we're the only team who didn't have it. For us to win that year and for us to beat every other team and defy the odds was probably the most memorable thing for me.
That's amazing. And you guys just won silver in Niagara, so how do you guys want to move forward for next week and going to Montreal for nationals?
I guess what we have to do is don't look at the rankings, respect our opponents, and start now, prepare for now. Because we can't walk into that game thinking that everything's going to take care of itself.
Right.
You know, we got to take care of the little details now, and we have to really prepare ourselves for a battle for 3 days. And I think that we're more than capable. We have the talent. We have everything we need. We just have to put all the pieces together, and it has to fit. And we just got to get rolling. So.
Perfect. That's amazing, Kenny. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for taking the time. It's a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure meeting you too.